I look back and it's sad because we got to a point towards the end that we were just looking forward for it to be over. And that's not how you want to end a season. That's not a feeling that.
Lexie Hull is ready to unveil the untold story of the Indiana Fever's roller coaster 2024 season. We faced immense pressure, but our resilience as a team shined, she shared. In her exclusive interview with Locked On Women's Sports, Hull, alongside Caitlyn Clark, reveals the secrets behind the Fever's remarkable turnaround.
Delighted to have ACC legend Lexie Hull. Is that what we have to do now? Oh my God!
Ew, I don't like the sound of
I know, me either.
What triggered their early struggles, and how did they turn things around to become title contenders? How did Christy Sides influence the journey? And what are Lexie Hull's true thoughts on new coach Stephanie White? Get ready for an exclusive look at Indy's thrilling season. Buckle up, it's all here.
I was in college, I didn't even know if I wanted to play professional basketball because I didn't know if it was a real career path for me.
Imagine this. Lexie Hull, a former national champion and 6th overall pick in the 2022 WNBA draft, starting the 2024 season on the bench. Instead of leading the charge, she watched as Katie Lou Samuelson and Christy Wallace took the court. It wasn't the season kickoff she envisioned.
You're talking to Christy Sides early on where you're being told, I am going to get more of this playing time, more of this opportunity. And does that help feed your confidence as well?
Lexie Hull's transition to the WNBA wasn't smooth. Her once impressive shooting at Stanford took a hit, with her three-point accuracy dropping to just 11% to 22% in her first 2 seasons. It was a stark contrast to her college days, and a challenge she had to face head-on in her pro career.
I think, definitely early on in my career when our team, and my first year, winning 5 games in a season, and then you're not performing great, it's like, where do I belong? This league is tough. Like, what am I doing wrong? And so there's doubts.
Pressure was hard to handle. Hull pushed herself in every practice and game to show she belonged. It wasn't just about living up to being picked 6th in the draft anymore. She wanted to prove she could play in the best women's basketball league in the world.
The pressure was immense, but Hull pushed herself relentlessly in every practice and game to prove she belonged. It wasn't just about living up to being the 6th overall pick anymore. It was about showing she could thrive in the world's most competitive women's basketball league. Determined, she fought to shine.
Your ability to shoot was something that we've talked about on previous programs. It's something that you never questioned. It was something that Lynn Dunn was certain of when she drafted you. It was something that, if I will be frank, people around the league were hoping for. This idea that, this is something you'd always done well in college. It was difficult to find a rhythm. It was difficult to find playing time, which makes a difference as far as a rhythm goes.
On May 25th against Las Vegas, Hull found her rhythm, sinking 4 3-pointers and regaining her on-court confidence.
Just put up shooting 47.1% from 3.
As the season progressed, Hull improved significantly. In games where she played over 30 minutes, she shot an incredible 66.7% from 3-point range. Getting more opportunities and watching my shots fall really boosted my confidence, Hull shared.
You played more than 30 minutes per game this season. Do you know what you shot from 3? You shot 66.7% from 3. When you went out there, there's no such thing as tired legs in that scenario. You are sinking 2 and 3. No one does that. No one does. I mean, it's just incredible.
The biggest shift for Hull was her mindset. She stopped doubting herself and began appreciating her journey. I'm just grateful for how the sport is growing, she said, feeling more positive.
It's incredibly satisfying. Looking back on a season, the things that you take are those percentages. Those are the things that, you're working to improve year after year. And so just, really, really proud of myself for sticking with it and believing in myself and continuing to work. And then being able to finish the season with a percentage that I'm proud of.
Hull's comeback was impressive, but it marked just the start of an exciting journey. As Hull found her rhythm, the Indiana Fever faced a daunting challenge. 11 games in just 20 days. It seemed impossible, but for the 2024 Fever, it was only the beginning of their uphill struggle, testing their resilience and determination as they pushed forward in the demanding season ahead.
The season was not always fun. And I think that you learn a lot from that. And so being able to kind of talk about those experiences and share like how we can be better and like just stick it out. Like it's okay. Like, yes, losing games sucks. No one wants to lose games.
The WNBA hadn't seen a schedule this grueling since 2003. The Indiana Fever, a young team still searching for its identity, wasn't just playing. They were battling the league's elite teams night after night with little time to recover.
Obviously, even if we didn't have a brutal schedule at the start, the expectations are still there and it might not go how you want it to go. And that's just part of those growing pains. And then you add in trying to build chemistry, and then you're adding in a very difficult schedule.
The losses piled up, and so did the pressure. The Fever stumbled out of the gates with a tough 2-9 record, falling short of the sky-high expectations set after landing the #1 draft pick. Instead of thriving, they found themselves in a downward spiral. Lexie Hull, still adjusting after her early bench stint, felt the weight of those expectations. In her own words, she described the team's mindset during this challenging stretch.
All of these pressures and expectations, again, it's like, are we good enough? Are we going to be good?
Behind closed doors, the team's morale was on edge. Coach Christy Sides had the tough job of keeping her players focused and motivated, despite the growing losses. How do you build chemistry with constant travel and tough opponents? With little practice time between games, the team struggled to address weaknesses or create new strategies. It felt like the Fever were stuck in a perfect storm of challenging scheduling and relentless competition.
Ran the numbers at the Knicks. No one had gone through what you went through since the 2003 WNBA season. Was it hard in those early days to kind of keep your equilibrium between the attention and the amount of difficulty in the schedule itself?
They came close to falling apart, with the breaking point near. Lesser teams might have cracked under the pressure, pointing fingers and fracturing into cliques. But in those darkest moments, something remarkable happened. The team's secret weapon: resilience. "We as a group were really resilient and stuck together," said Hull. Instead of turning on each other, they leaned on each other for support, pushing through grueling practices whenever they could.
I think we as a group were really resilient and stuck together and believed that this process was going to play out and that we were going to get better. We're going to be a team that can compete against every team in the league. And we did that by the end of the season. So I think I'm proud looking back that we didn't just give in and say, it's not this year. Like, we'll start over next.
It wasn't just about improving skills. It was about building a bond strong enough to face any challenge the WNBA presented.
We dug deep, we practiced hard, and eventually when we had time to practice in the start, we didn't really have time to practice as a team. We got closer, we got better, and I think you saw that how we played on the court. It just continued to get better and better throughout the year.
Even as they weathered the storm, the Fever knew resilience alone wouldn't be enough to turn their season around. Something had to change. A spark was needed to transform their potential into results on the court. Little did they know, that spark was about to arrive in spectacular fashion. Enter Caitlyn Clark, the rookie sensation who brought a whirlwind of excitement to the Indiana Fever. Reporters packed the practices, fans scrambled for tickets, and all eyes turned to Indianapolis. But the big question remained: how would this star rookie fit with a team still finding its way?
I remember the draft party in Cambridge, which was the first time we had that many people in Cambridge for not really any performance. The stands were filled, people had their jerseys, people had their gear on, and it was just a hint of what the season was going to be.
For Lexie Hull and her teammates, Caitlyn Clark's arrival meant adjusting to a new level of attention. The pressure to perform and meet the expectations surrounding their star rookie was palpable. As Clark settled in, she elevated everyone's game. "It's awesome to see everyone grow," Hull said, impressed by how Clark created opportunities on the court. Hull had to adapt to Clark's unique playing style, particularly her passing and vision. "It took me a while to realize she could pass to me from the other end of the court," Hull confessed.
I definitely got passes and tried to finish when I wasn't expecting to get the ball. So like now it's like, okay, every cut I have, every cut I make, every fast break I run, like I have a real opportunity to get the ball, which definitely like took me a second. And I think it really just took one of those to really get my head around like, oh, she's all the way down at the other end of the floor and she could still make the pass to me down at the block at this end. So, I mean, it's been awesome.
As Hull grew accustomed to this, her confidence soared. Suddenly, every move on the court felt like it could lead to something big.
It's so fun to be able to know that you're not just cutting to cut, knowing that you're cutting with the possibility of like actually making a really cool play. So that makes it that much more worthwhile.
With Clark drawing defenders, Hull found herself open more often. This new opportunity came with a challenge. Could she capitalize on these chances? She now had to ask herself how she would handle the added freedom on the court.
I think it's really fun because they garner so much attention, obviously, from the other team's defense. So then it allows the other players, me included, to make cuts, make reads, and they're really good at finding, you know, those openings and giving the ball up when it's needed and finding the better shot. So it's really fun, and I feel really lucky to get to play.
Imagine this. A player shooting an astonishing 66.7% when playing over 30 minutes. Sounds unreal, right? For Lexie Hull, it became a reality. Once a bench player, she transformed into one of the league's top shooters. Her three-point accuracy skyrocketed to 47.1%, far exceeding the league average of 35%. Even more impressive, when she logged over 30 minutes on the court, she sank 66.7% of her shots, 2 out of every 3 attempts, leaving defenders utterly stunned.
I think, kind of how you mentioned earlier, just finding the rhythm, finding the confidence in game. Shooting 25 shots in a row in practice is different than getting your 4 looks in a game and not being able to knock them down and having the confidence to continue shooting them. So I think just getting the opportunity in that second half of the season and seeing them go in and then continuing to get those open looks really just fed that confidence. And I think that hot streak towards the end.
I think Hull changed her shooting form or spent all day in the gym, but she didn't. The real change was in her head. Hull focused on staying confident and calm during games, embracing the pressure instead of cracking under it. "I'm going to hold myself to that standard," Hull said, showing she wants to keep improving. But shooting this well comes with its own pressure. One bad game, and people start wondering if she's lost her touch.
You might assume Hull changed her shooting form or spent countless hours in the gym, but the real transformation was mental. She focused on staying confident and composed during games, embracing pressure instead of buckling under it. "I'm going to hold myself to that standard," Hull said, emphasizing her commitment to improvement. However, shooting this well brings its own pressure. One off game, and people begin to question if she's lost her touch.
Got 60% from 3 during those 11 starts during the
Hull prepares by staying consistent in practice and getting mentally ready. She works on keeping cool when it matters most. Her improved shooting isn't just about her skills, it's about...
Hull stays consistent in practice and focuses on mental preparation, keeping cool under pressure. Her improved shooting isn't just about skill, it's about teamwork. With other players drawing defenders, Hull finds herself with better opportunities to take her shots.
We have some incredible playmakers on our team and incredible people that can get you the ball when you're open and create advantages. And so me being one of those people that I'm spacing the floor and I need to knock down those shots. So not only, holding myself accountable to do that as my role and hit those open looks, but also being able to stand up for my teammates and say, thank you. You're doing the work, you're doing the hard work, and I'll be here and I'll knock it down when I need.
Hull's shooting has become vital for the Fever, but one player's success doesn't guarantee team victories. With new coach Stephanie White at the helm, how will Hull's hot shooting fit into the team's strategy? White's arrival marks an exciting turn for the Indiana Fever. Her respected name in indie basketball circles brings a sense of homecoming, sparking hope for a coaching shift that could redefine the Fever's future.
Immediate reaction to her is she's a winner and she will pull what's best out of everybody, and just very excited about the opportunity to learn from her. And obviously she's went to Purdue, played with the Fever, coached with the Fever. So she's a legend in Indianapolis. So excited to have her back and excited to just be able to completely dive in with her.
White is a WNBA champion and Fever legend, now tasked with leading Indiana back to glory. Her history with the team runs deep. She played for the Fever, coached alongside them, and now she's back in charge. But White isn't here to relive old memories. She's got a clear vision: turn potential into championships. The Fever have talent, but the real challenge is taking a good team and making them great.
Stephanie White, a WNBA champion and Fever legend, is now tasked with leading Indiana back to glory. Her history with the team runs deep, having played for and coached them. However, White isn't dwelling on past successes. She's focused on her vision, turning potential into championships. The Fever have talent, but the challenge lies in transforming a good team into a great one.
Everyone's going to be really bought in, and just excited to see, how she tweaks things and her vision of how we can be better, and individually how we can be better to collectively be the best we could be. So just really excited, and I know that she's excited to be there and excited to change what we can do.
Lexie Hull, fresh off a strong shooting season, is already feeling Stephanie White's influence. She's mentioned specific ways I can be more dynamic, Hull shared. White aims to help Hull expand her game and become a versatile threat on the court.
She's mentioned specific ways I can be more dynamic. So, finishing at all three levels, being able to use my size and post up and have more of a mid-range game, just make me harder to guard.
White's coaching style is shaking things up. She's challenging players to use their size better and become tougher to defend against. It's a fresh approach for Indiana, and
Stephanie White's coaching style is bringing a fresh energy to Indiana. She's challenging players to maximize their size and become tougher to defend. The team is buzzing with excitement, but questions remain. Will White's championship experience lead to immediate success, or will this young, talented roster need time to adjust to her methods?
Make all 5 players on the court hard to guard. It's going to make us really good. But also she's, going to be focused on that defensive side. So bringing as much as I can on that end as well. So I think she just is expecting a lot from everybody, and as every coach should. I'm excited about that.
Hull seems confident about White's impact. She's a winner, and she'll bring out the best in everybody, she said. White brings a winning mindset that could be just what the Fever need to take the next step. As this new chapter begins, it's clear that White and the Fever aim to do more than just win games. They want to reignite the passion between the team and the city and inspire future players who dream of wearing the Fever.
Paul is confident in Stephanie White's impact. She's a winner, and she'll bring out the best in everybody, she said. White's winning mindset could be exactly what the Fever need to take the next step. As this new chapter unfolds, it's clear White and the team aim to do more than win. They want to reignite the city's passion and inspire future players to dream of wearing the Fever jersey.
Our ceilings is a championship, and hopefully we can reach that.
While Stephanie White's arrival has fans excited, the Fever's road to success isn't as simple as...
Stephanie White's arrival has fans excited, but the Fever's journey to success is more complex than it seems. A hidden challenge could derail their championship dreams: playoff pressure. Imagine the Fever reaching the playoffs, the crowd electrified, the stakes sky high. But then the pressure mounts, and they struggle in those critical do-or-die moments. Lexie Hull addresses this directly. "We can do better than that. We can go further," she says, revealing the team's determination. They're not content with just reaching the playoffs. Their goal is to win it all. What's holding them back? Experience. As Paul points out, we just need experience. You can't buy it or practice it. You have to live it, feel the heartbreak of losing, and the thrill of winning those big games.
Excited for all of us to be there and get to play together and hopefully bring home some hard work.
The Fever are putting in the work to prepare for a championship run. They're analyzing past champions, identifying areas for improvement, and mentally toughening up for the pressure of the playoffs. Hull and her teammates are fully committed. "I think we can win a championship, and I hope we do," she says, sounding confident in their potential. But here's the big question: what's the final missing piece? Is it a player stepping up in a big moment, a new game plan that catches everyone off guard, or is it simply time for this young team to mature into champions? As the Fever gear up for 2025, there's a new energy among the players. Who knows? This might just be the year they finally become champions.
So excited for the growth and so excited for what these kids in middle school and even high school, what the opportunities will be like once they graduate college. And yeah, so it's just great that they get to see us so that they can be us 5 to 10 years.
Lexie Hull's message to young girls is both clear and inspiring. It's possible for you. Her words are grounded in real experience, shaped by the ups and downs on and off the court. The Fever's journey exemplifies what happens when you keep pushing forward, even when faced with challenges. From struggling to make an impact to becoming true contenders, the team has come a long way. As they aim for the championship, they're doing more than just playing basketball. They're paving the way for a new generation of players who see themselves in Hull, Clark, and every member of this determined team. With the Indiana Fever leading the charge, the future of women's basketball has never looked brighter. Are you excited? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.